fine, and Turtle is going to have, I feel like, the quickest defeat they've ever had in a series. Spacestation Gaming dismantles them going head to head with that Destro H-Pal. So is it going to change? Maybe they figured out something else, but they can't rely on that Tracker's Net Spite strat into a Holy Paladin. That was something new they pulled out of their pocket to beat Mystery Org, but this is going to be a really tough one for Turtle.
It will indeed. So let's see how they do here in game number 1 on the Grand Arena. It is Spacestation Gaming versus Turtle.
All right. Well, let's see what compositions they are going to be going with, and it will be the composition we saw from Spacestation Gaming last week. It's going to be that Windwalker Elemental Shaman. So the way Spacestation Gaming kind of plays this composition is they play Dwarf. So a Dwarf is going to be super effective at removing magic and bleed effects, which is kind of like a soft counter to Jungle Cleave traditionally, and also just play maximum versatility, maximum survival, and kind of slowly whittle down Turtle as that Jungle Cleave.
All right, let's see if they can keep up the pressure here. Decent damage run to Dilly and Cyfoxy throughout this here, but their crowd control is going to be pretty limited, so they're going to win purely on pressure, I would imagine. Stun onto Gorecki, crowd control engagement, Freezing Trap has been secured. Now where is the damage? Double X sweep by Chun-Li, intercepting the assault, totally negating.
I just want to see Dilly get the fattest setup. I'm so ready for the Tarzan to come out here, but right now Dilly looking laser focused here, looking for the freezing trap potentially. Cyfoxy, he's kind of 50% or so HP. Gex gets stunned up here as he's trying to swap side there on the map. Cyfoxy now getting Hammer of Justice. There's the trap. Dilly finds it. Let's see, do they have the damage? Smex is in a stun. Big damage follow up, but Chun is there, spamming out the Vivifies. No interrupts there from Dilly or Cyfoxy on that Windwalker off healing, and that's going to mean that Smexon is going to be completely fine. And honestly, Spacestation Gaming, they have every single cooldown still. And the jungle, they're starting to use some of those cooldowns, so it's not looking great for them right now, Van.
Yeah, really haven't been able to develop too much pressure in the matchup so far. Cyfoxy caught into a lightning lasso, and big damage coming in from Chun-Li. Stun into trap onto Gorecki, and let's see what Smexon and Chun-Li are going to be able to do. This is the Dark Archangel. Smexon, is he going to trade the Astral Shift? No. Unfortunately, they do get the crowd control. They use the Dark Archangel, but Smexon is just way too durable right now with the way he's built his character, and I don't know what Turtle's going to be able to do. Paralyze on Gex. Dilly's getting one shot. Now Gex trades out his Rapture, throwing out the Power Word Shields, keeping his team in the fight. But if we look at Mana, is starting to develop a lead for the side of Spacestation Gaming, and this pressure from Smexon, from Chun-Li, is going to start really adding up as the game goes on, especially as we march into dampening.
Curious to see if they can crack the defense here. This is a good way to start. Freezing Trap on the healer, stun on Smexon. Trying to power through, but Chun-Li is just always there to support with an Expel Harm, a couple Vivifies, and Smexon easily stabilizes. Perhaps going after Gorecki. He's took a little bit of poke damage there, goes for Hammer of Justice. Gex breaks out looking for Psychic Scream. Tremor Totem down for Smexon, breaking that immediately. There is pressure across the board here for Turtle, showing some potential. They've got a 6-second window before that Avenging Wrath to really push for some other cooldowns. 2 more seconds to that. Gorecki, I would imagine, popping that instantaneously, but he's trapped on it. Nice play by Dilly, waiting for that, anticipating it, and now getting Astral Shift on top of the Avenging Wrath. Where did this pressure suddenly come from? Chun-Li very low health as well, but not panicking. Gorecki stabilizes. Double leg sweep. Gex pulls Dilly away from the fight. They switch back to Cyfoxy. Cyfoxy jumps even deeper, caught now into a lightning lasso. Gex trying to recover, but if he uses too many Shadow Mends here, he's going to run out of mana. He's getting in position for a Fear. He's got 24 seconds before that Tremor Totem. He gets Master's Call. He gets Ring of Peace away, though. They just need to keep Gex away. He gets Hammer of Justice, and I don't think he's ever getting back in range for a Psychic Scream unless it's out of a Freezing Trap, which could be landed momentarily. Dilly's in position, chasing Gorecki. Gorecki just running laps. Cyfoxy jumping over to Gorecki for a moment, but not stunning him up. Doesn't want to overextend. Fists of Fury are currently flying. Spacestation Gaming still have insane momentum. They've got cooldowns to answer. Cyfoxy in trouble. Big Hammer of Justice down. Gap Totem out of the Paralyze. Nice synergy between Smexon and Chun-Li. Cyfoxy trading once again that Survival Instincts and Gladiator's Medallion, and I would say the Turtle are in a tough spot.
Yeah, the Turtles are definitely not making it to the water right now. Gorecki in a full trap. This is it. Big damage here. Dark Archangel. Smex is in a full... What? His HP went from 90% to 80%. That was a dark stun. But Chun with a beautiful leg sweep is just going to go ahead and reverse that pressure back onto Cyfoxy Gex. What are you going to do here? He activates the Vitality Conduit. He gets stuck in the Hammer of Justice. Cyfoxy should be okay in that situation. Chun actually using an offensive touch of karma right there. Dilly as well now taking quite a beating here, looking for the freezing trap, but he might need to retreat here. Chun's all over him. Gets a fat powered shield there by Gex, and now looks to try to push Smexen over here. He's looking for the trap. He wants to get Smexen kind of low before the trap. That trap is not going to be doing too much. Smexen already at full HP, and he's got to be playing Conflict and Strife and full burst. I mean, look at his HP. He gets stunned. His HP doesn't move. So Smexen definitely coming in here with, you know, a great game plan. And if you take a look at Turtle, well, Gex mana is not looking good. He has exactly 1 minute and 13 seconds left before he has hit that critical mass point, where the point of no return, if you will, as a priest player. So they need to make something happen right now with this Dark Archer. Chun takes so much damage. Trinkets, gets Blessing of Protection, gets Sacrifice, gets every cooldown there. That's a hit like that is exactly what Turtle needed to get back into the game here, man.
Yeah, that was really well done. I mean, there was massive overlap on the side of Spacestation Gaming, and now Chun-Li is a serious vulnerability, but big damage on Cyfoxy. He might just get completely taken down. It's a paralyze. In one paralyze, it's a 100-0 on Cyfoxy. And Spacestation Gaming, they claim game number 1, although a few close calls on Chun-Li. Still, I mean, Spacestation Gaming, they were looking really solid in that match. And at this point, I feel like Spacestation Gaming, if we keep seeing this series play out, they're going to be looking good to close it out.
Yeah, well done by those guys for game number 1 here on Spacestation Gaming in this best of 5 series. And now it's up to Turtle to turn it around here, as they are going to be picking this next map. But we can talk about this replay if you guys want on the screen.
Yeah, so this was right after the close call on Chun. So this is right before the kill happens. They get the Hammer of Justice here onto Gex. There's the leg sweep, paralyzed, fist, dressed, boom, lightning lasso, and that. Whoa. look
Yeah, we
at
can
some
also.
Damage.
I wish there was a damage taken graph. I swear, Smexen would just say that you just say 0.
Yeah, so going into game number 2, though, it might be a little bit rough here on the side of Turtle, but this is a position that we've seen them in before. I wouldn't count them out just yet, though. However, not looking like they have really a bunch of options here against Space Station Gaming in this series. What do you think their next move is, Zico?
I'm honestly not sure here. I think Space Station Gaming, they're just going to be running the same thing. It looked very convincing, and it's one of those tricky situations where, you know, you're playing jungle. You only have, you know, that one comp really to work with, and there was, you know, a nice opportunity there, but that damage in the end, man, they got the paralyzed, they got that Ellie Shaman damage. It just had me like, what? You feel me? So, you know, that was crazy. No, that was really crazy, actually. So, I'm not sure what they can do here if you are Turtle.
So those are clip-ons on your glasses?
That's right.
Oh, wow.
Now they're,
Fancy.
you know, they're against what is it called, like the monitor radiation. It like helps against that.
Oh,
Blue
the,
light?
UV filter?
Yeah, and the
Or
other
UV
filter helps
filter,
against
yeah,
the sun
blue light.
filter.
Blue light filter.
You have
So
the sun
UV
filter,
rays
you have the
coming
blue light
from
filter,
your monitor.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're just two-in-one sunglasses. But looks like we are going to be going to Black Root Cold Space Station Gaming, locking in that Ellie Windwalker once again. Things you love to see are Smexen on the Ellie, Chun-Li on the Windwalker. Certainly two players that are one of the best if you talk about the classes, their respective classes here. So Turtle going to be locking in their composition here soon. Don't think there's going to be much of a surprise though on that side. But now that we do know our map here, Ven, do you think that Gek's going to be? Yep, there we go. Turtle locking in their composition as well. Do we know anything else now new that now that we know that it's going to be Black Root Cold, or do you think the outcome is still the same, Ben?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like watching this game, I'm doing the world quest for the Tortalon right now. Watching the turtles struggle to make it to the water, and you have Smexen and Chun-Li as the crabs and the seagulls just trying to disrupt everything they can do. And I just think Turtle, they're going to have to find those big one-shot setups and basically force Space Station to panic. I think if Space Station Gaming trades out the defensives appropriately, I think they should be able to survive in this matchup a really long time and kind of find those one-shots just off of Paralyze. But yeah, I think Turtle, they just have to have a really, really clean game offensively. But I do think this is one of those matchups where it's an uphill battle for them. I think Space Station Gaming probably has the compositional advantage, or they do have the compositional advantage, and Turtle's going to have to try to make something work.
I can just picture Space Station Gaming at home listening to like do 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 do, or what's the crab song? You guys know what I'm talking about?
No.
I think I do.
No.
Wait, yo, that's the frog song. That's the crazy frog.
No.
Yes.
Okay. I mean,
I know what you're
mean to
talking
sing
about.
the frog song, but there's a crab song. It's like.
I know there's a crab song.
In that crab song, are they wearing Zico's sunglasses? I think they are. Am I right?
You should.
Look at this start. Triple stun here. Nice crowd control. Can they bust through a Karma on Chun? I think they just did. Stunning him up again. Really powering down here onto Chun-Li. Curious to see if their builds have changed from versatility to gushing wounds. Lightning Lasso, Hammer of Justice, counterattack by Space Station Gaming. Unreal damage. Immediately having to trade out Survival Instincts and Gladiator's Medallion. And Foxy running with his tail between his legs with that amount of burst. He's not going to be able to escape another stun in the near future. He might not even just survive right now. The pressure is endless.
So much damage there, and you know they forced out Chan's cooldowns, but he was quick to strike back. But now Chan is actually in a lot of trouble here, stunned up. Maxin realizes this, already casting healing surges on 90% HP here. Greg is going to come out of the trap. Chan won't even need to port away, won't lose a beat here as he just goes in, looking for more damage. 10 seconds left on that leg switch. They're going to go for the Lightning Lasso into the Paralyze, into the Hammer of Justice. Greg is in position. He gets it. Foxy in bear form right now, just trying to tank out this until his healer comes out of crowd control. Gex now finally going to be out of crowd control. Dilly's going to look for the trap. Can they get Chun a little bit lower though before they go and fully connect that trap? That is the question. If you are the jungle, that's kind of what you want to do. You want to just be sitting on the target that you want to hit, try to land a kick on the healer, and then get the CC chain rolling. Because if you get it when your target is on full HP, it's very unlikely that he dies like this. Full trap secured, big damage coming in, but look at Chan's HP. He's not really going to be in too much trouble. And in fact, he can just go in aggressively because Gorecki preemptively sacrificed that.
Yeah, Smexon right now loading up a big Stormkeeper, looking for some damage on Foxy. And once again, Gex a little bit behind on mana in the matchup. Chun-Li with no trinket, a little bit of a vulnerability there. Maybe Turtle has an opportunity to strike in the next 8 seconds, but big disruption coming in. Stun on Dilly, Lightning Lasso on Foxy. Smexon single-handedly shutting down the team in that exchange. Very disruptive on that Elemental Shaman. Gorecki charging forward, potentially looking for a Hammer of Justice. He finds it. Is there going to be a stun on Dilly or Foxy? They're both trying to just evade, run away. And I think Turtle did a great job diffusing that situation. They had the crowd control on Gex, but Dilly and Foxy using that mobility to escape, and now putting out big pressure onto Chun-Li. The fortifying grew more than enough for him to survive as Gorecki trades that Divine Favor and tops him off.
Yeah, Chun-Li has anticipated so many of these stuns, making them totally negated. Double leg sweep, nice ring of peace, setting up for the Hammer of Justice. Beautiful play from Space Station Gaming in this moment in time. It could cost Gex a lot of mana to recover from this. The pressure is still mounting with Dilly down at half. I think Shadow Mend is a necessity at this point. Gex is trying to get away with only the Vitality Conduit. Really trying to benefit from that extra healing provided by the Feral Druid as the King of the Jungle. Managing to hold on, but falling behind further and further. Now 3 minutes in, Foxy getting ready for an attack. Playing the Heart of the Wild Honor talent, getting more max health in bear form. Needs to get ready. Karma's activated. His healer's in crowd control. Why is he not going into bear form? Now Lightning Lasso connects. Gex manages to disrupt the chain. Get that Rapture powered shield going. Smexon gets silenced. Chun-Li gets stunned. Beautiful cross crowd control here as they isolate Chun, but it's not enough. Gorecki easily just going to sacrifice and stabilize the entire team. Dilly switches to Gorecki for a moment, but a little bit uncertain if they're going to be able to get away with that. Nice bear form on the Fist of Fury by Foxy. Tanking through with the Frenzied Regeneration, but caught out of form in a leg sweep. Nice timing by Chun-Li. Doesn't decide to commit the Touch of Death just yet. Maybe waiting for an opening. Full Hex dispelled there by Foxy. Nice instant dispel. Just look at the mana, though. They can't even really dent Space Station Gaming and they're just falling more and more behind.
Yeah, and it's not looking great. They do still have some of those cooldowns left to work with here. Lily still has that aspect of the turtle. Cyfox still has his survival instincts. They still have Gex cooldown, but like you mentioned, the big story right now has to be that mana of Gex. It's not looking great. They need to make something happen. And the worst part about it, they have all of the cooldowns still on the side of Spacestation Gaming. Smexin has his danger defensive. They just force out the fourth brew there from Chun, but he's going to have his touch of karma in about 10 seconds rotating back. So Cyfox is the one in real trouble. This is the combo from last game, but Billy this time around actually hits that lightning lasso. Very nicely done there by Billy, stopping that chain before things got really sour. But still, for Turtle, it's just looking like they're battling to even just stay in the fight here, let alone playing and actually trying to get a setup to potentially win the game. There's so much damage on Cyfox, so much damage on Dilly, and Gorecki's gonna have his sacrifice rotating back up anytime now. He has his bubble for the next trap if he needs it. It just looks like there's no openings whatsoever for Turtle right now.
Yeah, Turtle definitely struggling to find pressure in the match, and Space Station Gaming is looking better and better as this game goes on. We're at 2% dampening right now. Gex almost totally tapped on mana. Cyfoxy getting pressure down, but here it is. The full trap on Gorecki. Stun on Smexin, but where is the damage to follow it up? That was Dark Archangel, but once again, the conflict and strife, the versatility, they completely shrug that off. But Gorecki a little bit, he's struggling at this point to kind of stabilize his team. They're all rotting down. He has about 7 seconds on that Avenging Wrath, and that should be enough for more than enough for him to empower his healing and top off his team. And that's when Space Station Gaming can look to get really aggressive here in the match if they want to continue pressuring down Gex's mana and eventually find that kind of one-shot combo we saw from game number 1.
Big push here on Smexin, but he pre-astral shifts. That might have been Divine Shield sacrifice if he had not made that maneuver. It might still be getting in range for the Tremor Totem. Chun-Li eats the freezing trap. Nice play there by Chun-Li. Smexin's defense has now faded. They're trying to cut through here with 7% dampening. Can Gex hold on long enough? He's caught into Paralyze. We saw Cyfoxy drop into Paralyze last game, so every time I see it, I'm nervous. They're swapping to Dilly in the leg sweep. Big Drestigath. Huge hit. Barely stabilizing with the Exhilaration, Vitality Conduit. Now they swap over to Gex. I mean, Chun-Li is unafraid of Turtle, going after the healer now, applying pressure into 3 locations. This is going to be devastating for Gex to try and recover, utilizing that Atonement healing with Smite and Penance, trying to min-max mana efficiency here. Trying to go for a Depths of Shadow, actually baiting interrupts on Shadow, then going for more casts on Holy to spend the least amount of mana possible. Cyfoxy caught in a Lightning Lasso, nothing disrupting it, full damage for Smexin. His Astral Shift comes up in 36. Sack is available for Gorecki if he wants to make a pre-sack play here. They drop Ring of Peace on Gorecki to prevent Dilly from getting in range to land a Freezing Trap, but Dilly was patient, waiting, nails the Freezing Trap, even despite Chun-Li's best efforts. Good positioning by Dilly there, gunning down Smexin. They need to stop the Tremor Totem here, but they can't. They Divine Shield anyway. That's a bit of a mistake here from Space Station Gaming. The Tremor Totem was down, so now Gorecki without a Divine Shield could be a possibility for Turtle to pull something off.
Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake there, and now that, like you mentioned, there is actually openings here. They got the most valuable defensive cooldown out of the way, but still, Chun has all of his personals, Smexin has all of his personals, so it's not the worst case here. They need to try to force the Astral Shift here onto Smexin. He's not using it right now. He knocks Gex away actually from that Fear. That was an excellent Thunderstorm right there, because they used Bubble and Tremor on the last Fear, so if Gex ever gets a Fear right now, it's going to be a full duration one. Cyfoxy catches a fat Shadowman, but now Chun is all over Gex. Gex going to be stabilizing it with the Vitality Conduit, ticking on 3 members, and Chun is just looking to try to build up as much clean damage as possible. Nice Ring of Peace here to shut Dilly down from getting that beautiful trap, but he should be able to get it now. Smexin, preemptive Blessing of Protection, and Gorecki is in that freezing trap. He's going to use that Astral Shift now as well. Gex getting paralyzed there before he can get that Fear, and Smexin, his HP is going up in that stun due to those Vivifies from Chun-Li, due to that the conflict and strife absorbed right there. So Smexin definitely was in a sticky situation, but he is able to survive there once again because of that defense from Chun.
Yeah, really good defense by Space Station Gaming, but as dampening goes up, I mean, Turtle's actually starting to find a little bit of damage as well. Gorecki's mana isn't looking good. Gex has managed to hold on. He's got a little bit left in the tank, and maybe, just maybe, Turtle could make an offensive push in this game. Definitely have to see. Full stun onto Smexin. Divine Favor comes in from Gorecki as he charges in on that steed. Full stun on Gex. Chun-Li, where's the stun? Who's he going to be able to go after? Doesn't look like they really have too much pressure. There it is, paralyzed into double stun.
Oh.
Dilly uses every man for himself. Lightning lasso onto Foxy. Hex onto Gex. Really good job there by the side of Space Station Gaming, looking to set that up. But Turtle manages to defuse. They get the Rapture shields out and do stabilize. And now Turtle has to try to find some pressure.
They've held on long enough that Goreki's actually equal on mana with Gex. This is a really well-played game from Turtle. Can they keep it up? Stun onto Dilly. Where's the Dispel? He's out of line of sight. Oh no, 1 second away! He barely gets the Exhilaration heal off in time. Stabilizing now. Chun-Li goes after Gex again, trying to get pressure in 3 places at once here and build momentum for his team. Stun onto Goreki. Astral Shift available now, right out of the stun, likely having to be popped. Grounding Totem was too late, doesn't need the Freezing Trap. Astral Shift trades, counter pressure on Foxy. Paralyzed onto Gex. He pre-paint suppressions along with it as the Survival Instincts. I don't think Foxy is going to die through that cooldown combination, but it is costing the rest of Gex's mana in this position, and Goreki managed to regenerate some amidst all of the chaos. Dilly now caught in a stun. He can't aspect of the turtle for 1 more second. Gets the aspect of the turtle, holding on to dear life, desperately trying to make it to the water and have a future in this series. Will they be able to pull it off with nothing left in the tank? They're all just getting whittled down. Freezing Trap on Goreki. This has to be it, but I mean, Space Station Gaming will have to choke. They still have so many answers. They don't even have to trade them. Gex caught in the stun, runs around the ring of peace. Goreki moves away from him. Gex has no choice but to run at the Paladin, try and get some crowd control. He gets knocked into the room. He's never getting to Goreki now. Divine Shield bop, paralyzed Lightning Lasso. Foxy trinkets out, trades defensives, and just trying to stay in the fight.
Yeah, and honestly, I think there's about maybe 1 or 2 more traps left here in Gex mana bar, but then that is it. And Goreki again with the preemptive sacrifice on the trap. That's gotta be killer for Dilly. He overextended so hard to get in position to be able to do that in the first place. And is Goreki, does he have no sack cooldown? He's pre-sacked the one before he bubbled, pre-sacked. Then he's sacked. Look at his bubble! His bubble is ready again. What? Goreki is getting the most ineffable dude, the trap is not even up yet and he has sack again. Goreki definitely making those ineffables count right now. He's got his wings back, he's getting his bubble back, he's getting everything back right now. The next time Dilly goes for a trap, he's gonna have a nice surprise waiting for him. I can't wait to see the reaction on that player cam when he realizes that there's another sacrifice waiting for him right now. Fox is taking so much damage. Smexin wants to finish out the game here, but Gex still has a little bit of mana left here. The dress connect, Sean is all over him. Big damn connecting here onto Fox. The touch of karma comes out. Smexin with a blessing of protection as well, just looking to hunt them down. And I don't know how Turtle is going to make it out of this one, Ben.
I really don't know either. Stun on Chun-Li, though. Chun-Li may have overextended just a little bit, but like you said, the sacrifice from Goreki is going to be available, but he has no breaks. If he gets caught in crowd control, they might be able to take Chun-Li down. There is a win condition here for Turtle. It's going to be difficult to actually pull off, and if Goreki pre-sacrifices, that win condition is completely gone. They have to execute perfectly. Stun now onto Dilly with the paralyze on Gex. Dilly has his Exhilaration. Vitality Conduit lands once again. Both teams exchanging blows at 44% dampening. There's a full trap. Who are they going to go after? It looks like they want to try to get some damage rolling onto Smexin. One motorcycle lands. Smexin shrugs that off. And now Goreki with his Avenging Wrath should be able to keep Smexin alive. Foxy rotting down lower and lower, and on the Dark Archangel having to play extremely defensive. Hammer of Justice now on Dilly. Immediate dispel there by Gex. Nicely done, but still Turtle, they are falling apart. Gex has no mana left. There's not really much defense. If he can keep his team alive, it's going to be an absolute miracle.
Pre-sacrifice, pre-paint suppression, throwing absolutely everything out here. Dilly's going after Goreki. He's desperate, but guess what? Divine Shield's off cooldown again for Goreki. They have massive mana advantage at this point. At 50% dampening, Turtle continue to battle valiantly. Lightning Lasso comboed with Paralyze. Not enough to finish Foxy. Coordinated Assault is popped. Dilly's moving in, gets the Freezing Trap, forces Divine Shield. They're overwhelming Smexin. Astral Shift on such low health, but now the reversal with a double Light Sweep. Ring of Peace on the life grip, denying that defense from Gex. How on earth is this game still going on? I feel these healers have hit out of mana like 3 times in this fight. Foxy retreats, but Dilly's left behind. He trades out the turtle. He's going to be the sacrificial lamb to try and buy time for Gex to recover, but now Gex is interrupted. Chun-Li's really putting the pressure on. All three members in trouble. They're trying to dent Smexen and make something happen. We see Dilly jump in, secure the freezing trap, but Touch of Death is active. Big Earth Shocks onto Dilly. Gex caught in a paralyzed Touch of Death, about to explode. Huge pressure onto Dilly, but he gets into the barrier right before the Touch of Death. Are they actually going to pull this off? It's unbelievable.
No way.
Smexen's dangerously
No
low,
way.
but Gex is going to fall to Chun-Li. Smexen's going to falter as well. He's going to bop him. Where's the bop? They take out Smexen. No bop to be found, but Dilly's got nothing. Closed out in the stun. Unbelievable game played by Turtle, but just not enough.
Is that the first cross kill we've seen for the circuit? I believe so, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It could be. Where was the bop, though? That was my question. That was definitely a little bit greedy on that one. I feel like that maybe it's out of range or something. I'm not sure, but what a close game. And I mean, I really thought that was going to be a lot more one-sided in favor of Space Station Gaming. Turtle doing an excellent job. You know, I don't know how Gex does it. Completely out of mana for like 30% dampening. He literally went 30% deeper in dampening with no mana whatsoever. But we can take take a look at the last few moments of the game.
Gex was such a hero this game. I don't think we've ever seen a priest be able to do that. 55% dampening before he gets taken down. But look here at Smexen. I'm not sure. Like, he is a lot of sight there. Did Greg get interrupted there at the end, or like what happened? I'm not even sure. Maybe it was actually a conscious
You can't
decision.
blame him.
Maybe it was a conscious decision to just let him die so he could have it for Chun. Maybe he thought like if he uses
No,
it,
I think
he's
what
gonna
ends
die
up
through
happening
it.
when you're playing Ineffable Truth Paladin,
You
your
don't even
cooldowns just
notice.
rotate back up. You don't realize that it's available.
Oh, this is ready again. You need to get a weak aura that tells you when your cooldowns are back up.
Bop is available.
Oh, definitely.
It'd just be spamming you. Bop is available.
Zach is
I'll
back.
do it like that. On
Zach is
Bop
ready.
available. Zach is ready. I don't know. I'm trying
Wait,
to
that was a
imitate
good
it.
Gladiator Losa voice.
Yeah, you actually sound like Gladiator Losa there.
That's actually me doing the voiceover. Didn't you know that?
Oh, I didn't know you
That's
did
how
voice
I got my
acting.
start in hosting. I did voice work. No, that's a lie. But congratulations to Space Station Gaming for game number 2 there. Well played by them. Well done by Turtle as well. It seems kind of like as we go further into this series against Space Station Gaming on the side of Turtle that they're kind of trying to maybe feel a little bit more comfortable in this matchup here against Space Station Gaming. Do you think that there's any possibility here for game number 3 that they could potentially take a win off Space Station Gaming?
If they play smooth
I mean,
on Mistweaver, I think they could actually dampen them.
0% chance.
What? Mistweaver
Zero.
Jungle? I swear, Mistweaver Jungle would do okay.
It's even.
I mean-
it's even more unlikely that Turtle wins a game here than it is that Charlotte Phoenix would win that game with Tigers. So I would say 0%.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Wow.
Charlotte Phoenix won the game on Tigers.
I know.
What?
that's
I'm just trolling.
Okay, all right. Well, we should shortly find out here as we have these players choose their composition and their map choice here. Now it's Turtle. They did lose that last game, so it is up to them to pick the next map here. Do we have any guesses to maybe what their next move is, Ben?
well, I think we'll likely go to a small map again. So if they want to have any chance of going after Chun-Li, they need to bring it to a smaller map. So Ruins of Lordaeron, I think Dalaran and Ruins of Lordaeron are probably going to be what we see. Would be my guess. And Hook Point, obviously. Yep, forgot about that one. Whoopsies. Yeah, Hook Point also a really good map. Just anything small where it's difficult for Chun-Li to kite, and also it makes it a lot more difficult for Gurecki to create space, which allows Dilly to actually get off some consistent traps, or maybe even Gex to push in for a fear if he's feeling really, really spicy.
Yep, Space Station Gaming, about a minute left to pick their composition here. Then Turtle will lock in their composition. If there's not really much they can do in terms of specs that they're playing on the side of Turtle, maybe something with gear. I mean, like, what do they really do here? They held off a lot longer in game number 2 there, Zico, but I don't know. What's their next... What
You gotta
can
get Chun.
they do?
Chun is the only
Yeah.
guy who will die. Anytime they go and Smexen, they stun him and his HP goes up. Chun is the only player on that entire team that takes damage. It's either him or Gurecki. Smexen, I feel like you just spam MC, you try to spam fear him, like just annoy him as much as possible, and try to interrupt Lightning Lasso and just leave him. Go after Chun. The problem is, when they were going for Chun, you would just as soon as his healer get trapped, he would just pre-port. So I don't know. They need to go for Chun and set it up so that he actually goes from a CC into a stun, you know? Like if they can fear Chun, trap the healer, and then stun Chun out of the fear, he won't actually have a chance to do anything about that, you know? Like you can't pre-port, pre-karma, etc. And if you don't do it that cleanly, he's always going to be preemptively using some defensive cooldown because he just reads the game that well, and he knows exactly what Turtle wants to do.
Do you think that in the future we'll see some of these jungle teams sort of try and diversify their comp pool a little bit? We touched on it before today. You know, Turtle, we've only seen them play jungle. That's really all they have. Is their only option if they want to succeed and do well in this circuit to try and maybe learn another comp, or is it just a matter of trying to figure out what they can do within that jungle composition, Ben?
Well, this is something that's happened for a very long time. I mean, we saw it from Reformed, as early as Reformed, and probably even before that, honestly, where the jungle, it's not... So, let's think about, like, Cloud9 as an example. You have Wealthy Man, he's a phenomenal mage. And on that mage, he can pair with Snuts on the Rogue, Snuts on the Warrior, Snuts on the Windwalker Monk. He can pair with Chanimal on the Destruction Warlock. You have a lot of different options being a mage main. If you're a Hunter main, you don't have any options, really. I mean, Shadow Priest Hunter is okay, but I feel like if that was good, we'd see the Golden Guardians play it a lot more. As a Feral Druid, I think the only other composition that I ever see Ferals successful at is Feral, Paladin, Destro. So you would need eventually a Destro on your team, but then that Destro doesn't work with Dilly on the Hunter. So I think it's just really difficult as a jungle cleave to find a solid fourth. If there was one that they could easily bounce around with a few different good compositions, I think we'd be seeing teams, like F2K as well as Enlight and Turtle have that on their roster. It's just not an option for them right now.
Yeah, we'll have to see. No, go ahead. Spacestation Gaming versus Turtle, game number 3. Spacestation Gaming on match point.
All right, the gates are open. Hook point could be a fitting final resting point. I just stole Zico's joke. Smexon stunned up. Reki in a trap. Big remote guidance device activation here, but Smexon activates that stone form, removing all of the damage over time effects. And I mean, he basically does. It's basically like a motorcycle didn't hit him in the face and the back at the same time. Gex gets swapped to. You can see that Space Station Gaming are not afraid whatsoever in the matchup.
Yeah, I think if you're Space Station Gaming at this point, you are pretty confident that you can burst anybody down between Dilly and Cypher. They even are swapping to Gex. So for Space Station Gaming, it's pretty obvious what they want to do here. They just want to get a Ellie Windwalker one-shot on somebody and paralyze, or Hammer of Justice Gex maybe. But on the side of Turtle, I actually want them to just tunnel Goreki or go for Chun. Anytime they do a stun attempt like this on Smexon, I mean, look at his HP, it's 90%. And now they're actually going for Gex here. Big damage. They interrupt the regrowth right there. Now they are going for Goreki. Excellent targeting here from both teams, going after the healers here. And this is exactly what you want to see from Turtle. I want to see them punish that ineffable truth that Goreki's running, or go for Chun, because this map is extremely hard for a Windwalker to survive on.
I mean, it definitely is. If there's any Windwalker Monk that is going to survive, it would be Chun-Li, but still not an easy task. Trap gets eaten once again by Chun-Li. Really nicely done by him, rolling over, eating that trap. And now Turtle, they've managed to actually recover, but pressure is heavily in favor of Turtle of this matchup. Greki actually gets interrupted. Massive rot damage. Cyfoxy getting swapped to, though. They have to be very careful they don't overextend. Gex in a prime position to heal him up, but he is burning through that mana 2 minutes into the game at around 80% or so already. So Turtle, definitely, their pressure has been looking good, but Gex really has to do a great job managing his mana, as I would say that was the main reason why they lost in the last game.
All right, Specs in the target here, taking a bit of a hit. Greki, no Avenging Wrath for 5 more seconds. Really just hoping that comes up pretty soon, but I think they should survive to that point. 1 more second. Now Avenging Wrath available at any time. Greki immediately activates it. His healing is going to be quite strong as he heals the entire team to full health in 1 Holy Light. Gex gets stunned up. Foxy stunned up. Beautiful cross stun here by Space Station Gaming. That's going to force Gex's hand, activating the pain suppression. They Psychic Scream Chun-Li. Smexon actually Tremor Totems Chun-Li, so one of the Tremor Totem for the next Psychic Scream if Gex can get in position onto Gorecki. The map pick was excellent by Turtle to set up the team to get that crowd control chain going. So let's see if they can get aggressive here, push forward, and land that Psychic Scream on the next Freezing Trap.
Yeah, but right now it's very hard for Gex to actually get there. Chun is all over him, Ring of Peace, and this is the attempt here. Nice, beautiful double leg sweep there by Chun, who's going to give Spacestation Gaming, the edge here, and it's also going to shut down what Turtle was doing there. So, it's going to basically help them offensively and shut down an attack on Smexin. So Chun really getting the most out of that leg sweep every time it's up. And now they're going for Hammer of Justice onto Gex. Preemptive, beautiful. Oh, nice knock there, though, by Smexin. That was a touch of death setup right there. So Gex pre-barrier right there before he gets swapped to, reading that like a champ. But Smexin with an equally nice counterplay right there. Ultimately, they're not going to be forcing out too many cooldowns as a result of that, but still, they burn a lot of Gex mana. Anytime you go on a priest, you definitely tax his mana a lot. So I want to keep doing that for as long as they can here. And once again, Dilly looking for the Freezing Trap here, actually going a little bit onto Gorecki. And Gorecki is just going to pop those wings, pop himself, and start looking for... Oh, he gets trapped on the wings now, so good pressure on Smexin. But see, again with the leg sweep, Chun is just an expert at this Windwalker, always making the right calls. And now a big swap onto Gex here, big damage coming through, the Lightning Lasso.
What?
They need to interrupt it, they almost kill Gex immediately, 100-0 there. If Smexin could have had an Earthshock there. Oh my goodness! What is this damage?
Ooh. Yeah, the damage is really never ending. Nice fear coming in from Gex, immediately gets broken though, unfortunately. And Gex has been pressured a lot more in this matchup, so Spacestation Gaming kind of turning this map on its head. They thought they could go after Chun-Li a lot easier, but that just also allows Chun-Li and Smexin to go after Gex a lot more in the matchup. Astral Shift gets forced out onto Smexin. Smexin actually getting bursted down, but I think it's unlikely he falls through that Astral Shift. Gorecki with big healing, the Divine Favor should get a massive heal out. That was a sacrifice also, but with that inevitable truth, that sacrifice really isn't that long of a cooldown. And now, it's going to be Gex under fire once again. Hammer of Justice comes in, Chun-Li rolls over, whirling Dragon Punch, and then just kind of rolls away. He got the Rapture. He broke the wrist, walked away, and just getting these little micro cooldowns out from Gex does allow him to burn through those cooldowns and allows a lot more opportunities in the match for Spacestation Gaming. Although, once again, Turtle pressured greatly in favor of them. Problem is, Gorecki has a lot of cooldowns that he can rotate through. The Blessing of Protection. Chun-Li is going to be looking very healthy as well with the Touch of Karma and the Fortifying Brew. So Turtle still, they have a lot of major objectives they got to get through, but at this point, they've been doing a much better job in this game.
So Turtle, big damage on Gex. He Pain Suppression's the stun. I feel like he doesn't die through Pain Suppression, right? Cyfoxy's helping him. Gex recovers. Chun-Li gets forced away. Interesting here is that Dilly and Cyfoxy are running Maledict, but Smexin, maybe he just dies and they can take a point on the board. Huge pressure, bop on 1%. Can they purge the bop? No, they catch out a couple of clutch heals. I was going to say Dilly and Cyfoxy are playing Maledict trinkets, but Chun-Li and Smexin are both playing Dwarfs. So they can just remove the Maledicts with the stone forms. They can remove with Diffuse Magic. The Maledicts really aren't getting too much of a benefit, but at the same time, without the Maledict, they can't absorb the off-healing and kind of push through for a win. Spacestation Gaming just have a solid build in terms of defense, although maybe some cracks are starting to show here. Triple crowd control, beautiful pressure, but just not enough damage to follow through. Smexin survives the stun, Astral shifts, and now is going to start to attack back. Mana is at least somewhat even, I guess, if we want to look at things going well for Turtle in this final, what could be the final game.
Yeah, mana. Well, let's see what Gex can do. Last game his mana was worse when he hit Dempney, so we'll put our faith in Gex for now. But right there, beautiful paralyze. Let's see who are they going to go after. Smexin now in a big trouble here. Full fear could be secured. If he lands it, it could be the game. Gorecki bops himself instead of he bops himself and sacks Smexin. What a hero. Gorecki is going to have his bubble back as well. So that was a really close call right there. And Smexin is taking a lot of damage on the Ellie Shaman. I'm not sure why, but that was the Battle Master, and it's going to be falling momentarily right there. Cyfoxy taking a beating so far. Gorecki is going to have those wings right now, so he should be able to recover everybody, including Chun and himself. And then hopefully in 30 seconds for him, he's going to have that bubble. But that next setup could be very scary. Smexin has his trinket, Chun has his trinket, and I suggest one of them might have to use it.
Yep, and Smexen with a nice lightning lasso, and this is where things are starting to unravel a little bit for Turtle, but Smexen still getting pressured. Interrupt into trap on Gorecki. Smexen getting lower. Look at Chun-Li just spamming out Vivifies. He's doing everything he can to keep him alive, but that is a beautiful setup by Turtle. You can see Dilly, he is absolutely stoked. He's able to win that game, and they keep themselves alive in this series. And now I kind of wonder, Spacestation Gaming, are they going to switch it up, do you think? Are they going to go with a different composition? I do think they have options. You know, Thugonomics on the Destruction Warlock with the Imp, with a Paladin, is really strong into Jungle Cleave. But right now, I mean, Turtle, they're definitely got to be excited about that one. They played a phenomenal game.
I'm really disappointed Dilly didn't beat on his chest that time.
He did.
I was waiting for it.
He did.
Oh, he did? Oh,
Yeah.
all right. I missed it then. I just saw his clapping, but nothing else. Did you make a Napoleon Dynamite reference then?
I did,
During
yes.
that last game? Nice.
I still haven't watched that then.
That's
Oh
okay.
my gosh. You gotta watch. Slap the wrist, walk away. But well
All right.
done to Turtle taking a
If you can
game
dodge
off
a
of
wrench, you
Space
can dodge
Station.
a trap.
That is not the same movie.
Is it
That was a
not?
complete. No, that's Dodgeball.
I mean, let's look at this game. So, I mean, right
Yeah.
now, this is the setup. I mean, Chun-Li's trying everything he can to keep him alive. The Maledicts are so strong, and I kind of realized one of the things that's going on that's keeping Smexen alive without those Maledicts is Chun-Li can use Expel Harm or Reverse Harm onto Smexen during those setup attempts. It's a lot of percent-based healing. You can also throw in Vivifies. So I think just the off heals of the Windwalker Monk, definitely really, really strong. You can look, Chun-Li did 3.5 million healing in that game. I guess it's comparable to everyone else, but still, during those setups, that healing really, really counts. And I think the Maledict and soaking up some of those off heals was definitely a big part of their success in this one.
Well, what do you think, Ben? Do you think that Space Station Gaming now needs to switch it up, or do we think they continue to play the same composition we've seen through the series?
Well, I don't know if they're going to switch. They definitely could. We've seen them play on Blade's Edge. Blade's Edge is kind of a pocket pick for Space Station Gaming. They like to blast off their opponents off the bridge and, you know, kind of utilize that.
Oh, look at that. Going to Blaine's Edge. This is going to be a really difficult game, I think, for Turtle here. We see Space Station do super well on this map here. This is definitely a favorite for them. Now Turtle looking to pick their composition soon. 40 seconds left in the draft timer for them to pick what they're going to play, but I have a strong feeling it's going to be jungle here, Supatis. But how do you think they're going to do in this next game? Is this going to be a difficult matchup for them?
Why don't they just play Ellie Destro with an imp and dispel every freezing trap?
I was thinking about that too,
Gaming.
like Ellie Destro and Tolvaron. How could you? It seems
feel
pretty
like-
strong.
Even here, I think it's still good. Why are they so
double
like dead
Destro.
set? Why are they so dead set on this Windwalker Ellie? I feel like they play it every time, but like the Destro lock would actually just be better.
They could just play Windwalker Destro as well.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I feel like Thugonomics might just not be available or something. I'm like really curious why they're not using him. Maybe they want to practice the Windwalker Ellie more because they think that's the only way they're going to be able to beat Cloud9. So they're getting like some reps with it, but I feel like they actually do have better options.
They're wargaming in the middle of the tournament and practicing
Just getting,
for the hard
getting
teams.
some practice games.
I don't know about that one. I think both teams are here to win, and they're focused on this specific matchup. I mean, it's got to be, you know, maybe they wargamed and they had bad success with Destro Ellie. I don't know. Maybe Doug is not available. I really don't know. Either way, on this map, Space Station Gaming have the ability to launch people, not quite to space, but really far away where they can get healed and kill them. And we saw that last week.
Turtle can do the same thing though. I think Dilly's going to have some nice explosive traps on this one and be able to knock them away. So we'll see if Turtle can actually utilize that a little bit. But yeah, this is, like I was saying, this is a pocket pick for Space Station Gaming. They seem to really love this map. I don't know if it's going to work out exactly how they want against the jungle cleave, but it's definitely a possibility. That last game, though, I mean, I got to say, Turtle, they were looking really good in that last game. It was a small map, but still, their crowd control, their burst damage was really, really on point, and I definitely wouldn't count them out of this one. I feel like if we see this matchup play out over and over, there's definitely a shot for Turtle in this one. Like, they can still come back, and I think My prediction is if Spacestation Gaming ends up losing this one, they're definitely going to be switching their composition, which I think would be a smart pick. But we'll see if Turtle can overcome this Ellie Windwalker Paladin once again.
Yeah, we certainly will, Ven. It sounds like the game is ready here. Turtle looking to tie it up 2-2 against Space Station Gaming. Space Station Gaming here on map choice, or on their final point here. They only need 3-1 is what they want to get to win this series. It's Space Station Gaming versus Turtle.
All right, here we go. The gates are open. Both teams charging right to center field. Dilly's going in. Cyfoxy's behind. Wants to make sure that he doesn't get pulled out of stealth so that he can get that stun with the rake. Waiting. Dilly getting in position. There's the stun. They don't get the rake stun, actually. They just have to go for the bash. Freezing trap down. They drop those remote guidance devices into Smexen. 2 bikes into Smexen. Half of his health gone. Ring of Peace knocks Gex out of the side. Not a good trip for him. Dilly immediately disengages off with him so he doesn't stay too far overextended. Gex repositions with the Rapture. Good cooldown usage there from Gex. No panicking from that knockoff from Chun-Li. Both teams stable. Turtle wait for their freezing trap. Space Station Gaming are going to build momentum in that downtime.
Oh, they're getting some pressure here onto Dilly. Dilly's dropping dangerously low. He gets the trap onto Gorecki, catches the Vitality Conduit. Should be okay for now. And Smexton actually taking a massive beating here. He's going to use that Dwarf Racial to remove the Gladiator Maledict. He also did activate his Battle Master Trinket there, so he's not going to have that for about a minute and a half, but he does have his Astral Shift, so presumably he wants to rotate between those. And Gorecki actually has swapped over to the Blinding Light, and they knock Gex off at the back end of that, and this is the map doing a lot of work there, but Dilly with a beautiful disengage right there. He's going to disengage to his priest's line of sight and be able to do what he needs to do. Full freezing trap secured. Smexen, what are you going to do here? He's just Cyfox, I think he got knocked right there, but Smexen...
Yeah, he got sent into orbit.
All right, well, Blade's Edge once again here, saving a sticky situation for Space Station Gaming.
It's the Elemental Shaman's Paradise. The Thunderstorm's super effective at disrupting Dilly and Cyfoxy when they want to get aggressive. And so far, it's been definitely working out for Space Station Gaming. If you look at mana, Gorecki is doing very well. His mana is super healthy. Looking for a big beautiful Ring of Peace there by Chun-Li.
Oh my God.
And they say
Stop
goodbye
the
to
sun.
Dilly once again. Goodbye, Dilly. Now Lightning Lasso on Cyfoxy. And I think just this map by itself, I don't know. It feels like even when we do see Dilly and Cyfoxy get the crowd control, if Dilly gets knocked off, if he has to use his Harpoon to go get crowd control, he comes back and gets knocked off. All of a sudden, that kill potential is lost as they need every little point of damage they can get to punch through the defense of Space Station Gaming. So I think this is going to be really, really difficult as we see this map play out.
All right, let's see if they can keep it up, though. Triple crowd control by Turtle. Excellent execution, but they just can't follow it up. Dilly now getting reversed on match point still here. Cyfoxy launched off the side. Dilly caught in a lightning lasso. Big pressure aspect of the Turtle, barely in time to deflect the incoming Earth Shocks of Smexen, but then they switched to Cyfoxy, immediately pulling Survival Instincts from him. Gex is almost down to half mana. This map is definitely working wonders for Space Station Gaming. Chun-Li in a position where he could be vulnerable, though, if Turtle can exploit it in the near future. We see Dilly pulling away, maybe trying to bait Chun-Li. They're not chasing him, though. They just stun Chun-Li with no crowd control. Dilly's not really even in the fight. A bit peculiar here. Turtle maybe just trying to stabilize, get ready for the next attack. Maybe Dilly's just going to wait for his aspect of the Turtle. That's a long time to just wait. Gorecki's going to move to center bridge. Smexen launches Cyfoxy. Nice wild charge by Cyfoxy, immediately leaping back onto the bridge. Stun interception onto Gorecki. Excellent play by Dilly. Smexen immediately using that Gladiator's Medallion to try and break out of the stun and help with the crowd control chain and managing to stabilize. Dilly back in the fight, but still no aspect of the Turtle. Both sides recovering. Vitality Conduit fades on Dilly. Gex trying to power through, baiting some interrupts with the Shadow Men's. Trying to line of sight Smexen's Hex. Cyfoxy off to the side, maybe trying to avoid being leg swept. Nice dodge on the leg sweep by Cyfoxy. Only Dilly in the stun. Now Cyfoxy stuns Smexen, totally shutting down the assault.
Oh, beautiful mind control. And this is the kind of trap that forces cooldowns. Smexen already low. Look at that overlap immediately. Trinket and the Astral Shift right there from Smexen. But Dilly taking a big beating here. Cyfoxy throwing out the heals. Chan is there though, ready with the interrupt. Nice blinding light here by Gorecki. They're looking for Dilly. Can they get a big crit here is the question. does not look like they can. Gex gonna be able to easily brush that off with the Rapture cooldown here, but they're forcing some cooldowns here from on the side of Turtle. Doesn't look completely one-sided, but that is a preemptive Vitality Conduit. No, it's actually a Vitality Conduit on Dilly, so Smexen in a decent amount of trouble here. He's gonna use his Dwarf Racial to remove that Gladiator's Maledict, using his Battle Master there. So for the next trap, Smexen has no cooldowns, and Gorecki has no trinket, so they need to pre-sack it. Yeah, Gorecki needs to taunt the path or that next CC chain, most likely, if Turtle can get it going soon.
And let's see, Gex gets interrupted. Nice spear hand strike there by Chun-Li as he rolls over. Big damage onto Dilly, big Fist of Fury. Gorecki still has a lot of defensive cooldowns that he can work with as Dilly moves into position, gets a full trap. Great job there by Dilly. Now, where is the damage? Preemptive Vivifies and a knock once again. Dilly gets blasted off the edge of the bridge and now has to come back. And it's that knockoff. I just feel like it's so effective for Spacestation Gaming. It really feels like if Turtle wants to win this game, they have to have every little point of damage during those setup attempts, and getting knocked off the bridge definitely going to disrupt that a lot. Dilly getting blasted down a little bit, manages to recover, and now it's at this point of the game, 5% dampening. Gex is really working through his mana, down to about 10%. We did see, though, on Black Rook hold, he was able to hold on until really, really high amounts of dampening, rotating through his defensive cooldown. So we'll see if he can pull it off once again.
It's going to be a miracle. Look at this, another thunderstorm. Dilly off to one side, Cyfoxy off the back, trying to get back into the fight. Double stun lock, big Stormkeeper burst in by Smexen. Lightning Lasso to follow up. Dilly immediately respects the Elemental Shaman domain aspect of the Turtle to immune the rest of the incoming damage. Cyfoxy stunned up, but he pre-bear formed it. Nice read by Cyfoxy as Gex sits through a paralyzed and has to basically work with nothing for, another 4 minutes at least before dampening is going to be high enough. They're trying to gun down Smexen again with a freezing trap onto Gorecki, but not finding any momentum without that Gladiator's Maledict. They're going for the Maledict now, potentially overwhelming him. Mind controlled at low health. Beautiful mind control timing here, but not enough. Gorecki saves the day. It did cost him Divine Shield and sacrificed at least, so it wasn't totally worthless on Gex's efforts in that assault. These Maledicts are going to be key to victory for Turtle.
Yeah, definitely not. I wouldn't say, but what is going on with Gorecki's bubble? Didn't he just use it? 50 seconds. Oh, he's got to have the ineffable proc right now. That's going to go up. That number is going to go. Yeah, there it is. Okay, I was like, what? Is he running like 20 ineffables or something? But no, Gorecki did get a proc there, but he's not going to have his trinket for another minute. So there is big potential here. They could force out the cooldowns here. They get the freezing traps next in. What are you going to do here? They connect with the damage, the motorbike, the Maledict. This has got to be the Stone Form plus the Battle Master from Smexen. He's going to use the Stone Form and gets mind controlled on it right before. If that mind control was a split second faster, it actually might have been enough here for Turtle to straight up win the game. They knocked Dilly to... Okay, he disengaged in the middle of the knock, so he actually didn't get knocked that far, but it looked kind of cool. They get a nice lightning lasso here onto Cyfoxy, but yeah, honestly, it looks like Cyfoxy and Dilly are just both not really taking that much damage. Gex, though, completely out of mana, doesn't really have many cooldowns to work with. Vitality Conduit, the only thing keeping them alive right now. If they get bursted, in the near future here, there's not really going to be anything on the side of Turtle to save the day. But now, full freezing trap onto Gorecki. This is the kill opportunity onto Smexen. He's going to use the Astral Shift to deflect that one. And for the next trap, Smexen is actually, Gorecki is going to have his trinket. So for Spacestation Gaming, they can at least live 1, maybe 2 more setups right now. But on the side of Turtle, I don't even know if they're going to survive this. There is the blinding light from Gorecki. Did is running for his life, ducking for cover, and they're just going to turn to Cyfoxy. Looks like Spacestation Gaming is in control here, Venruki.
I would definitely agree with that. Sacrifice rotating back up, both Blessing and Protection. Dilly almost getting completely smoked. Gex trying to get some heals with the Rapture, gets knocked off. Nicely done there by Chun-Li, really using and utilizing this map. Now one for Fist of Fury off that lightning lasso onto Cyfoxy, but Rapture, such a powerful cooldown. This is the Dark Archangel. Dilly gets knocked. Nice disengage back on the bridge. Dilly definitely gets style points for that one, but it looks like the kill attempt is lost. Blessing and Protection on Smexen is more than enough to shut down that kill attempt, but Turtle definitely going to be happy with that result. They are slowly working through those defensive cooldowns, but Divine Shield rotating back up. Trinkets available for Gorecki. He's got a lot of mana left to work with. And once again, Gex is somehow pulling out miracles on that Priest, keeping his team alive deep into dampening with no mana in the tank. But this might just be too much damage. And it looks like Smexon will be finding a Hex out of that Paralyzed. Nice setup here coming in from Space Station Gaming as Gorecki charges in, gets the Hammer of Justice. Dilly, aspect of the Turtle. He does get life gripped. And somehow, some way, Turtle stay in this one.
All right, let's see if they can keep it up here. I mean, Gex is working miracles right now for his team. Still no mana remaining. Maybe another 2 minutes into dampening and they'll be able to pull this off, but there's so much defense to crack through with nothing left in the tank. Chun-Li's going after Gex. Earthshocks are coming in. They interrupt Gorecki. Looking like they're going to be going after Gorecki a little bit, at least poking him. 2 targets low on health. How is Gorecki going to deal with this? No Avenging Wrath. This is going to be the Divine Shield. A swap over to the Paladin nets them an important cooldown. Nice advantage by Turtle. Mind controlling Smexon off the side, barely paralyzing it in time. And Turtle are starting to make some moves here. Freezing Trap onto Gorecki. No way to escape it. Astral Shift, Stone Form for Smexon. Trying to stay alive here. Double leg sweep, reversal pressure from Chun-Li. Cyfoxy immediately breaks the stun to try and stay aggressive here, but he's forced back by Chun-Li in bear form. We see Dilly still pressuring Gorecki. Is Dilly just going to solo Gorecki? Cyfoxy's going after Smexon. This split strategy might work here. Dilly grappling hooks in. Gorecki's still critically low on health. He's just getting absolutely smashed by Dilly right now. Dilly switches back to Smexon. Gorecki's starting to struggle. Avenging Wrath just came up though. Inevitable Truth saving Gorecki here as he tops himself and likely tops the team. And now, oh no, after all that work, Dilly stunned up. Gex stunned up as well. Blinding light onto Gex. Chun-Li still struggling. Freezing Trap off to the side. Gorecki breaks out. And Avenging Wrath is still up, getting a lot of Holy Lights off at this point in time. But, man, Turtle are making Space Station sweat.
Oh, but they might have to finish sweating right now. Gex, I don't know how he does it, but once again, we find ourselves at 40% dampening. He has the same mana as he did on 10% dampening. He's keeping Dilly alive. He's keeping his team in the fight. Gorecki has to pre-sack right now if he wants to be able to win this game here. Actually, Smexon does have a couple of cooldowns to work with, so maybe a good thing to hold on to it for a little bit longer. But Dilly now pushing in for the trap. No sacrifice available. Smexon's in a stun, taking tons of damage. He trinkets out of it. Smexon is damage reduction. He's going to use it. Astral Shift coming through. Gorecki has his big heal there, big Divine Faith, big damn Judge coming through, and he's going for it. Full Hammer of Justice potentially here for Mr. Gorecki. He gets it onto Gex and Dilly on 1%. I don't believe it. He's still alive, but the slapper procs, and he's gonna slap Dilly out of this one. 3-1 for Space Station Gaming. What an amazing! I just gotta say, Turtle, especially Gex as well. I'm really impressed. I don't think there's many jungles who can really put Space Station Gaming to the test like this.
I feel like this is the best I've seen